Right. I'm live, right?
It looks great.
Hi everyone. We're very excited to have you here today and discuss something that's very important to all the curlies out there. Uh, so for those who don't know, we're going to be talking about ingredients today, and ingredients, as you know, is a very sensitive topic for curly haired women, because and men, because there's so much information out there. There are two kinds of people. There are ones who have a lot of knowledge on this topic because they have embarked on this journey, and there are others who are just beginning, but there's so much information. There's something on YouTube, Google, and it can get overwhelming. But today we will help you and guide you through this issue of what ingredients actually work and how they work differently for different curl types. And this is going to be a fun session, as we're going to be uh, talking to one of the biggest curly hair experts in India, and we are very excited to have her, as she has been on this journey for almost 6 years, and she has literally tried everything, and she actually tell us what works. So we're very happy that you all have joined us for this enriching live session. And please feel free to send all your questions in the comments below. In the end of the live session, we will patiently answer all your questions and get back on all your queries. Also, winters are almost here, and it would be really great to know with what ingredients actually work for winters, because I know all of you must be experiencing the dryness and the frizz that the winter weather comes with. So don't worry, we're going to tackle that issue too. In a few minutes, I'm going to invite Deepika Desicurly, as we all know her, one of the leading experts, not just because she has a lot of good content out there, but she has content that has actually helped people like me who started the journey 3 years back, and I saw her content and I learned so much. So we're going to be welcoming Deepika at the moment. So Deepika will be joining us very soon, and we promise you a very fun and informative session.
Hi.
Look who's here.
Uh,
Hi Deepika. Thank you so much for being a part of this live session. We're truly
it,
grateful.
it's totally my pleasure. It's not always that you get to talk about ingredients, and not a lot of brands are open to talk about ingredients. So I'm really happy we are doing this.
So are we. I was just telling everyone that when you start your curly hair journey, you are given so much information that use this, use that, but it can get very overwhelming for someone who's a beginner. And
Tell me about it. Like, I've been there, I know it. Like
can you
doing art,
tell us?
I have not done so much studying for even my graduation, my school days, sports, like how the amount of studies I did for curly hair journey and learning all about it. So yeah, I'm at peace right now, but I would love to share about it.
That's so true, and we are truly excited because you're right. I mean, there's information, and there's information which is different. Some blogs will say use this, and the others will say
That is the problem, that there are so many sources and not all of them are reliable sources. So many uneducated, I mean not really uneducated, but not educated to that level are just providing tips and stating facts that are not even scientific, with no scientific background, no really proof, solid proof. And we get all confused reading that, because science says something else and they are saying something else. Whom to believe? So I have been all through it. So yeah, it's really something to learn.
So, Deepika, can you tell us a little bit about your journey, like when you started your curly hair routine, like how just finding the right ingredient was hard for you?
So back when I started, it was 2016, and 2016 meant there was, I think, nothing available. Yeah, no curly hair brand literally existed in India that was like properly curly hair dedicated, and we had to literally ask our relatives and friends to get us products from outside, and they were like, really, we had to compromise on products, and it was not always possible to get products from outside. And before that also, I was taking care of my curly hair, but not that much, because I had no knowledge at all. Then I joined a Facebook group, Indian Curl Pride, learned a lot about curly hair and leave-in conditioner, curl cream, gels, and these things there, how to style hair, watched so many videos, and finally I was really doing it, and I could literally see change in my hair. So, and before that, my hair was just like, I was so upset with my hair, what to do about it. I was already using a homemade styler, and still a homemade styler, as in boiling orange and everything. It worked really well, but that was all about it. Like, I didn't know I had to deep condition my hair or condition it properly. I have to sleep on satin. So many things were there, and this was just making my hair really, really sick. My hair was so dry, so brown because of dryness and discoloration and split ends. It was just, I can't even imagine having that hair back. So yeah, the proper knowledge of general hair care is totally absent in India, I think. Back then it really was. There was almost no curly hair or even hair influencer to make us learn about all those things. So it was really hard at that time. But that Facebook group really came in handy. And it's just been 6 years since then. Now I am myself an influencer, educator, whatever you call it.
Yeah, you have been a great educator to us all. As I was just telling everyone that when I started my journey 3 years back, you were one of the first people I started following, because also your content was something which is very relatable. Like, you also gave us options, which you could work with, like gels or like creams that were easily available, as opposed to something that you need to order from an obscure website.
Right. Now we have so many options, and they're like one day away. Like, you can, from if you order Curlvana from Amazon, it will just arrive in 2-3 days, I think, at least to my place. So it's just a click away. And back then it was horrible back then. They were literally, you have to wait for a month or 2 months or maybe 6 months that your relatives will come back, some friend will come back, you will ask someone. It was all about that.
So, what were like the first like few ingredients that you realized were really good for your curls in the beginning of your journey? Like,
Firstly, water. Water, basically, I realized that it's making my hair clump so well. So water is definitely my best friend, especially for styling my curly hair. Water is amazing. Like, you can't really work with products unless you be it leave-in conditioner or even shampoo or conditioners. Second, the other ingredients that have really worked for me, I won't really say ingredients, but for example, flaxseed gel. Flaxseed, the amount of shine and hold it gives, the hydration it gives to your hair, that's amazing. So those are some things that really worked for me. And then later on, I realized that conditioners have these fatty alcohols in them. That's best friend for curly hair. For cationic surfactants like benzoyl chloride, I won't go into the names of it. It's really confusing because of that. But cationic surfactants and the fatty alcohols in it, and the oils in conditioner, those are the best friend. That's going to keep my hair really smooth and soft and less frizzy. So I realized it pretty well. In fact, gel we started using after 1 year, 11 months or 1 year. That's when I started using gels. But before that, I realized, yes, my hair loves leave-in conditioners, and these creamy things. These are definitely my best friend. I was missing out on all of them.
Okay, it's so great that you brought up like fatty alcohols because there is a lot of misinformation among curlies that every alcohol is bad. Like they see the word alcohol on the product packaging and they'll be like, no, this is chemical. So
I
could you
know.
like could you like just tell the audience a little bit more about that? Like how fatty alcohols?
Definitely. So alcohols are usually divided in two categories. There are long chain alcohols and short chain alcohols. The long ones are the moisturizing, you can say the moisturizing alcohols in layman terms. Um, for example, cetyl alcohol, sterile alcohol. These are fatty chain and fatty acids, and they really moisturize your hair. They keep your hair really smooth, and you will find them in leave-in conditioner, deep conditioner, basically creamy things that make your hair really soft. The short chain alcohol, on the other hand, are like ethanol, methanol, basically alcohol that evaporates really quickly from hair. So it's not that you have to, like the long ones are amazing for hair. Everyone should use them. The short ones, they are not really that bad, but if you are using them in high concentration in regular use, for example, those quick setting sprays that they do in salons and parlor to fix your hairstyles quickly. Those, if you are using on everyday basis, that can be really drying for your hair because that has a lot of drying alcohols, the short chain alcohols. Their aim is to just fix your hair and evaporate the water quickly. So that dries out your hair if you're using on regular basis. Once in a while, it's okay. And sometimes there are alcohols in your conditioners and leave-in conditioner in very small concentration. That's completely fine. That sometimes as a part of raw material it's there. It's not really intentionally added. It's just a part of raw material, and sometimes it's added to make the ingredients go deeper into your layers. For example, ethanol makes your cuticles raise higher, and then ingredients can properly penetrate. So it's doing a good job there. It's not doing a bad job there. So not every alcohol is bad, and not the presence of short chain alcohols is also not so bad until and unless it's really drying your hair. There was this scalp serum or something I bought from some brand. I don't remember. It was really long time back. It was for oily scalp, and I don't have oily scalp. I just wanted to use it. I just wanted to try it. So I bought it from the shelf from a grocery market, and I put it on my scalp, and it quickly evaporated. It was for oily scalp. I think that was the reason it evaporated quickly, and it had drying alcohols in it. And my scalp started feeling so dry, and I was like, why did I even use it? So that was something not for me, and I used it, and then I can't complain that this dried my hair. It was supposed to dry your scalp. Why did it in the first place? So it depends what you are
That
using, purpose you are using.
so like what you're saying is that every curly hair is unique and it just loves different ingredients.
Yes. Definitely. I think focusing more on the product categories is more important than focusing on the ingredients. Because when products are formulated, the formulation scientists, they have done years and years of studies and practice and so many things. And we are just sitting there reading the label like that and saying, oh, this is so bad for my hair. How? How did you decide? So it can't be done like that. So that's the point.
That's so true, and I'm so glad like you've been so candid because yes, even like I have been guilty of that. I remember like just in the beginning of my curly hair journey, I was so enthusiastic. I was like, okay, this has this ingredient, it's bad. Like, and I ended up damaging my hair because I was not giving it any nourishment. Like I was.
So if you start eliminating ingredients, you are left with such less options, and it's not possible that those options are suitable for hair. Maybe they are not. Maybe they are good products, but they are not suitable for your hair. Maybe they are not enough moisturizing for your hair. So is it really worth really eliminating those ingredients from your hair? It just drills down to that. Using good formulations is something like trust that brand, trust that they have nice, well educated scientists who are going to formulate nice products for us. And if that works, that's great. Stick to that. I have learned this a very hard way, like going through isitcg.com or pearlsbot.com to check proper ingredients and then buying it. It's a lot of work, and then realizing it that it's not worth it at all, it's frustrating. I don't want anyone to do that, really.
So your like message to everyone is that try what works for you.
Yes, and that's where the job of influencers and content creators come in. Like, as a normal person, not who is not on social media, not creating content on social media, it's not possible to try out every brand, every product from that brand. But influencers and content creators do that. They put their hair under the test, and they test
Yeah.
it, the information. This is going to suit that kind of hair. This is going to suit that kind of scalp. I think that's the job of influencer and content creator, especially when it comes to skincare and hair. And I think that can really help, listening to them rather than just trying to identify what is really bad and good for my hair, because the hair doesn't work like that.
So I'm gonna like because there are a lot of popular ingredients among the curly hair community. I would love for you to shed some insight so that beginners and even people who are on their curly hair journey can just gain some guidance based on your years of experience. I'm gonna start with something which is, I think, a buzz in the curly hair community, which is flaxseed, which I think absolutely everyone loves. If you could just share some insight on flaxseed.
Flax seeds are like amazing. They're like really, unless and until you are allergic to flax seeds specifically, they're suitable for everyone. You can use it on baby's hair, kids' hair, and old person's hair. You can use it on everyone. You can make flaxseed gel at home, store it in the fridge. If you are just starting with your curly hair journey, you are not sure which gel to buy, just make flaxseed gel. And the gels made of flaxseed, usually other ingredients also play a major role, but when there's flex seeds and some gel, that is usually loved by every hair. I have just a general observation, it's just loved by every hair, maybe because that ingredient is really well, it gives a very good shine, it gives a very good hold, the gooiness it has, it's really nice to apply and slip it provides to hair. I love everything about flaxseed gel and flex seeds in general. So yeah, I think one should really give it a try.
Flaxseeds. Okay, that's so. Everyone, you should definitely give flaxseed a try.
Yes.
And Deepika, what do you think about shea butter? Like shea butter is also something which is
Yes, shea butter. So usually, if you use it in raw form, it can kind of can be heavy, and especially in winters, it can really become really solid, and it's difficult to use on its own. You have to warm it up and make it liquid out of it, and then use it. But if it's included in a formulation, and because it's such a nice emollient, it softens your hair so well. I think if you include it in a formulation and in proper concentration so that it doesn't make your hair heavy or oily, it can be a really good ingredient, I think. So.
I remember like I had started using shea butter as you say directly, and that caused a lot of dandruff for me because it was not, as you're saying, it solidifies right in winters. So I would just apply it after warming, but then still like it would cause a build up. So it's yeah.
So
So
happen with a lot of the thick oils and thick butters that it's not easy to wash them off. And sometimes what we do is either we use a lot of shampoo or use a very strong shampoo to remove oils, and that in turn dries out our hair. Or it will, if it's not really drying your hair, it's not washing off properly, then it will just keep on creating layers after layers on your hair, and that's a problem. So including in a formulation, I think that's a good job. That doesn't make your, I mean, if it's in the formulation, if it's in good concentration, I mean, suitable concentration along with other ingredients, there's a very less chance that it will cause any buildup or heaviness in your hair. I've used several products with shea butter, and yeah, it is a really good ingredient. It's just that one thing people should keep in mind, that sometimes for extremely acne prone skin, it might cause problems on their skin. Like you said, you have had dandruff problem after it, because it's a heavy one and it might clog your pores on skin, so they might face some acne issues if they are not washing their face after styling. So that's something to be cautious of, otherwise it's fine. I have acne prone skin, but nothing major happened.
okay. And what do you think about fermented rice water, which is again something?
Fermented rice water is, I think, again a very good ingredient. very good. The process of it is a little time taking. Like, you have to keep in mind, you have to make rice water, ferment the rice, use it properly. But otherwise, it's a really good ingredient. There's very less information out there. I mean, proof that it contains amino acids and protein. And if even if it does, it's really in really less concentration. But still, I think it's the starch and everything that makes your hair really shiny, and your curls hold up really well after you have done that fermented rice water rinse. So yeah, it's again a very good one. It's really good thing if you want to make something natural, completely natural, and at home. You don't want to buy something, then it's great. And I think that's why it's a great ingredient to be included in hair products as well.
As you know, we've uh, also used these ingredients in like our products. Like, just like from all honesty, what like how's your experience been generally with Curlvana products? Because
I think
we love.
my experience has been really good, especially the stylers. The stylers, the leave-in and the gel, they worked fab for me from the first use itself. And the shampoo, a lot of people said it's drying their hair, drying their scalp. Is definitely slightly on the stronger side. But for me, when I was trying these products, and the weather was really humid and my scalp was on literally itching all the time, there were very few shampoos that were working. And Curlvana one was the one that really helped me keep down the itch. I'm not sure what was the reason, how did it do that, but yeah, it really helped me. So I do have the shampoo here. It's almost finished. That's I use it so much because it was really keeping my scalp really calm, and no shampoos were doing that at that time. So yeah, the shampoo and the stylers I think are really good.
What are like some ingredients that as like curly and wavy should like completely stay away from? Like, we know the do's, but what about the don'ts? Like, what do you think are some ingredients that we should just not go near?
So I think it's the high amount of drying alcohol. That's all. That's one ingredient I would suggest people to stay away from. The reason is simple. Drying alcohols, they evaporate quickly. We do not want water to evaporate quickly from our hair or our skin. And drying alcohols, by drying alcohols, I generally mean the setting sprays, basically those quick ones. I have it too. I have kept it for making hairstyles. If I want to make some hairstyle, today I have a wedding to attend, I might want to make a hairstyle and just fix it nicely. I have kept it for that purpose. But it's not that I use it every single day or use it frequently, because my hair is already dry. Curly hair in general is really dry. That's why we use so many moisturizer and leave-in conditioner and everything on our hair. And then I'm using a drying alcohol. I mean, drying quick drying kind of spray. So that's one ingredient I would say. Use it cautiously. You don't need to really stay away from it completely. Use it cautiously. If you know that what is it doing and what can be the adverse effect of it, you will obviously use it cautiously on your own. That's the only ingredient I would say you can stay from. Other than that, there are a few ingredients, few preservatives. Some people are allergic to them. There's itchy M. There are two ingredients. They are put in pair usually in products. They are not bad for anyone. It's just that some people are allergic to them naturally, like we are allergic to peanuts or gluten in that way. So that might cause itching on scalp for those people, and that's something not really related to curly hair in general. So you can keep a check on that if your scalp is itching a lot. So DMDM hydroxyapatite, that's also very good preservative. But if your scalp is allergic to it, you might again feel really itchy scalp. So these are some ingredients that you have to use cautiously. I'm not allergic to any of these. I don't have problem with any of these. These are just cautious points.
And what would be your advice to someone who is just starting on their journey? Like, what are the ingredients that they should look for? Because as we discussed, there's so much information and not really something which can be, I mean, either they give you like 100 ingredients to work on. Like, a very short list of ingredients that someone who's a beginner can use to revive their curls?
So I think I'll be very honest about it. I would really say do not go into ingredient sector at all initially, at least initially, because curly hair care is itself such a complicated process. You start learning it later in your life, and at that point of time, you have to unlearn so many things. You have to unlearn brushing your hair. You have to unlearn sleeping on cotton pillow covers all the time. You have to unlearn tying your hair, rapidly or in a harsh way. You have to be so gentle with your hair. You have so many things to unlearn and new things to learn. And on the top of that, you start to learn to eliminate ingredients, what ingredients are good or bad. What are you going to do with that information? Are you going to produce a styler of your own at home? Are you going to do on it? What are you going to, it's really not worth you putting your brain through so much information, because I have done that. And back then I used to avoid silicon sulfates, everything. And now since 1 year or so I have started using them all over again, and my hair has been the healthiest right now, because I'm using everything cautiously. I know what this will do, I know what this will that. I know my hair. In all these 6 years I've known my hair so much that I know my hair to the T. So I can use anything and everything, and I can basically use everything that's keeping my hair really moisturized and healthy and defined all the time. So I think learn about curly hair care, good healthy hair habits, rather than learning about ingredients. So that's a simpler way and the best way to go about it.
Okay, we should like follow good curly hair habits.
Yes, yes, yes. Use stylers every single time. Don't get scared of them. Use stylers every single time you wash your hair. Use gels to keep your hair really defined for 3-4 days for light angles. Sleep on satin, and just these basic hair care needs, and your curls will just flourish. You will notice it yourself.
Okay. And in terms of like, like this is a question that like I wanted to ask you, like, what are your thoughts in like just glycerin as an ingredient in general for, because again there's a conflicting information.
Sorry.
Like glycerin, like, like there's a conflicting information on glycerin.
uh, that's what I said initially during the live, that there is so much information out there, and we do not know what is good, really useful information, and what's really just out there just for the sake of it. Glycerin itself is a really good humectant. It's a really good humectant. It just attracts water from wherever available in abundance and just puts it there. So the work of glycerin is like that, and it's the work of all the humectants. Like hyaluronic acid also works on in the same manner, or any other humectant for that matter. Now, if you're putting glycerin on your hair, thinking, okay, this is a hydrant, this is going to hydrate my hair, and the weather is really dry out there. Like right now in North India, the weather has become really dry. It's going to be like that for next few months. And if I put glycerin in my hair directly, like I take glycerin and just put all over my hair will become really dry. Why? Because there's literally the air is so dry. There's some sort of water, some sort of hydration in my hair only. So glycerin will take all the hydration, the water from my hair, and just put it out there to the environment. So it's going to frizz up my hair, make my hair really dry and brittle like that. And if the weather is really humid and I put glycerin, it will attract so much water from the air that it will frizz up my hair. The cuticle will rise, the hair will get swelled up, and it will just look very frizzy and very dry and brittle again. So that's the reason people say don't use glycerin, don't use glycerin. But if you are using it in a formulation, then it's amazing. It's a very good humectant, easily available, easy to use, so much studies on it, so you can use it. It's a very reliable humectant. And if you're using film forming polymers, if you are making a gel and putting a glycerin in it, and also adding film forming polymers to hold up your curls, to not let water and hair interact, so glycerin in that scenario is going to work great. It will keep the hydration in your hair, and the film forming polymers in the gel, they will form a film over your hair while they are drying and not let the hair interact with the water around you. So that's how it works. So that's why I say don't just rush, don't just go behind the ingredients. Look into the whole formulation. Is it keeping your hair really healthy in humidity? Is the whole product doing the work for you? So I think glycerins are great. I think nobody should avoid them at all. I think glycerin, hyaluronic acid, and polysorbate, all of these humectants are really good for hair care.
Okay, so thank you, because I think you've really, you know, decoded the message for everyone out there that don't go after ingredients. See how the whole formulation works for you. Like,
Absolutely.
try the product and
Yes, that's
see. Yeah.
yes. Try the product, read reviews, ask people, see the reviews of other creators. What reviews do they have? Is it working in their climate, in their weather? And that's all about. That's
So
how you.
someone just asked us a question in the comment section that they have a habit of washing their hair daily. Is it a bad habit?
Yes, it's a
What?
bad. It's definitely a bad habit because you are putting water on your hair every single day. When we put water in our hair every single day, the hydrogen bonds in our hair, those are temporary bonds, break the moment your hair touches water. They break, and then when your hair is drying, they will make up once again. And if this is happening every single day, and also when water touches your hair swells up. Your hair becomes frizzy because of the swelling. So it swells up, and it's the weakest when hair is wet. Hair is the weakest when it's wet. So you are doing this process and making your hair weak every single day, and the hydrogen bonds are breaking every single day. So no, it's not a good thing. Water is
See,
for hair, but not so much.
yeah, because someone also asked us that, if they wash it every day and they sell it every day, is that the solution? But
Yes, I mean, some people actually wash it because it's just being a custom followed in their family since ages. So that's the reason they do it every day. So for them, I think they need to understand that this is not a really a healthy hair habit. Like I said, following healthy hair habit is more important than following certain ingredient. So for them, if it's not necessary at all, don't wash your hair every day. But for example, if you are working really hard and your scalp sweats a lot, or you are out there, maybe you are a traffic police person, you are out there on the road. There's so much pollution every day on your hair. In those scenarios, in particular specific scenarios, washing your hair every day is okay because it's their lifestyle, it's their requirement. If it's not absolutely necessary for you, don't do it. Even if you have oily the next day, if your scalp is oily, after use a dry shampoo and then skip one day and then wash it. That way you can just delay it for a day.
okay, that's. I think a lot of curly hair men have this habit of washing their hair every day. I think they should really.
It's actually fine for them. I'll tell you why. Because every few weeks they are going to go there and cut their hair just for 50 rupees. So for them, really, it's really not at all a problem. Men's hair, that's why, is very low maintenance because they are going to get it cut in few weeks time. So, but if somebody wants to grow their hair really long, then they should definitely care for it.
Hmm. I just like this is gonna be like I mean, of course you spoke about try the product, but someone has just asked us that, like, what should I look for in a leave-in cream as an ingredient? Like they've asked us
Okay.
like which, yeah.
So if you're buying a leave-in cream, it should firstly have water. The leave-in cream that you're going to use for curly hair should be water-based, not oil-based. Because I have seen all sorts of leave-in conditioners. They are sometimes balms and oils. They call it leave-in serum or leave-in cream. Don't use that for curly hair. I mean, use the water based one. So first ingredient should be water, then it's water based. It should have preservative so that there's a shelf life and it doesn't spoil inside. That's the most unsafe product to use. So water and preservatives, two ingredients. Secondly, it should have fatty alcohols in it. That's one of the most important ingredients, I must say, because that is going to keep your hair soft and really smooth all throughout the day. And it should have humectants also, glycerin, hyaluronic acid, polysorbate. It could be any thing. It should have humectants because it's going to keep your hair hydrated, and then it should have some sorts of oils, lipids, fats in any sort. So these are 4 5 ingredients that there should be in leave-in conditioner. So if you are able to identify, well and good, but if a company is providing a good leave-in conditioner for you to buy, then just buy that.
Uh, I, Deepika, I would really like to thank you. I feel like, I have learned so much in this live session. Just, you really broke it down for someone who is a beginner or an expert or an intermediate, that what should be done. And I think you send the right message that, we should like actually inculcate healthy hair habits, and this is something that I am going to always remember, because you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're it's like being healthy in your body, right? You have to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what you eat, no matter what you do, if you're not keeping your body healthy, it doesn't matter how expensive your tomatoes are if you're not doing the right things to your body.
Yeah.
Right. So that's definitely something I wanted someone to tell me 6 years back. It would have my life would have been such a simpler one if somebody had told me back then.
So this is, I think, this is going to help a lot of people out there, and I personally can say for myself that if I get too lazy some nights to like sleep on cotton, I'm going to remember healthy hair habits.
Yes, sleeping on cotton is something that's you will definitely wake up with frizzier and drier hair. That's something inevitable if you're sleeping on cotton.
I'm just gonna ask you the last question for this live session. What are few tips that you would like to share with us for like winter curl routine, because it's completely different in terms of how our styling or like washing or conditioning regimen have to change. Just
Right. So for winter, especially if the weather around you is really dry, then treat your hair, your curly hair, like dry skin. What would you do for dry skin? You would put on moisturizers, and you would make sure you are not using the kind of body cleansers that are going to leave your hair skin squeaky clean and dry. So put the same practice for your hair as well. Use very gentle shampoos, moisturizing, not really moisturizing shampoos, conditioning shampoos that leave your hair soft yet clean. Put as little as possible shampoo on your hair length, only just to remove oil and stylus, little bit only. And co-wash as much as possible. And every time you wash your hair, use stylus. If you do not want to use gel, that's okay. At least use a moisturizing styler, like leave-in or a cream. And sleep on satin, of course. And yes, dry your hair as quickly as possible, because the weather is cold and it will take 6 7 or even 12 hours to dry your hair. So dry it as soon as possible using a dryer. Keep it at a distance and just sit in front of it like a few meters away, and that will dry your hair quickly. That's how I dried my hair today. It's really chilly.
okay.
These are
This
few
is,
things.
your hair is looking very nice also.
Thank you. And I would suggest spending some time on your styling your hair, washing your hair on the wash day, so that your next few days will be really easier for you. Next 4 5 days will be easier for you, because it's not possible to wash hair every alternate day in winters.
Yeah.
So
So you
invest
have to
time on the.
really. Sorry, please go ahead.
No, I was just saying invest time on the wash day only.
So we have to get our like wash day right, like
Yes.
then we can be in peace.
Right. Just spend some time on your wash day so that your hair is moisturized for a couple of more days, because winters are really dry. That can dry out your skin, your hair so much. So just do that. And yes, oil your hair in winters. Even if you don't in summer, oil your hair in winters for sure before shampoo.
Deepika, I hands down to you. I think you have a lot of knowledge, not just because I mean I was randomly asking you questions, and even I didn't know like there was two different kinds of alcohol, and like how like protein works for your hair, or just like just shea butter. And thank you so much. I think a lot of people who have just started on their journey would have some sense of clarity, and
I
this
hope
has been
I want that information that has reached to them that didn't reach me so many years back. I hope that has reached them today.
And it will surely do, and we are beyond excited to keep seeing you more often, and just helping everyone out there, our curl friends, to understand that they should just embrace their curls and not because there's a
And if you
lot of
follow,
things.
really easy to follow curly hair routine.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's why I want to focus so much on the habits rather than ingredients. It's really easy, and you can follow. I mean, it's very practical if you just follow healthy hair habits and just incorporate them in your curly hair routine as well. Than just following ingredients.
So, with this, Deepika, we will come to an end of our live session, and we have the conclusion for our question, which was curl ingredient. Curl ingredient play yay or nay? The conclusion is it's nay, because we have to have healthy curl hair habits, and for that you need to properly nourish your hair,
Hair
condition
habit
it.
and good formulation of products. That is all that matters.
Okay. Thank you so much, Deepika. I'm very, very happy to have spoken with you. And I
Thank
can't wait to speak to you very soon again on a sensitive issue like this, where you can actually say what, people want to hear, that
you.
just
Yes,
don't get so
it's really good.
confused.
Really feels really liberating to have such conversations, especially on a brand page. Not every brand wants to do that.
We are thank you for that, and this is the kind of community we want to build, that it should be a safe space for
Right.
fellow curly community members to actually voice their opinions, even if it might not be the same with us, because we all are learning, we all are evolving, and the objective at the end is to embrace our curls and not shy away from them. So as long as we're doing that, we should be all
And as
happy.
the process is simple, it's easier for everyone.
So, thank you so much, Deepika. We hope you have a great day, and thank you. And we're going to be, for everyone who missed out on the session, we're going to be, jotting down the important key points that Deepika spoke about on our stories. And also for everyone who joined the session, please use the coupon code to get your stylers and your conditioners and your shampoos at a discounted rate. Thank you so much, Deepika. Okay.
Thank you for this opportunity. It was a really good session for me as well.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, I'll see you. Bye
See you. Bye
bye.
bye. So, thank you everyone for joining us, and we shall catch you live very soon.